So we have 92 centers around the United States. We're adding about 3 each year right now. Hope to get that up to 4 or 5 in the coming years. More than a million members nationwide. We are a growth company, so we're trying to grow both clubs and memberships. When I arrived at Lifetime Fitness, I looked at all of the systems that we did have, and there were probably at least 60 user interfacing systems that, whether it was accountants or people in the clubs, had to look at. And I told our CFO that we need to start considering an ERP solution. Simplification of our vast number of legacy systems was absolutely key. There was two pieces to me. One was just the inefficiencies of all of the manual interfaces we had. Cost was another. I think with all those systems and all the different licenses and maintenance agreements we had, we were, I don't want to say losing control, but there was a lot of extra costs that could have been avoided if we had a single system. The biggest push for us on the HR system was moving away from a paper environment. Our HR director calculated about 2.3 million sheets of paper a year we could eliminate by going to a paperless HR system. Additionally, not just the paper aspect of it, but the people that are, the new hires are generally a young employee, and they like iPhones, they like iPods, they like signing up electronically. So I think it's a benefit to them also. The payroll system was near and dear to my heart because payroll reports through me. And our legacy system that we had, number one, was very expensive. Files were sent from Lifetime to that provider. They would turn around about 48 hours later all the payroll information on the pay period. And then once again, it would be a manual interface into the general ledger. With Workday, we didn't know it at the time, but one of the things we were looking for was efficiencies in addition to the cost. So from an efficiency standpoint, we're now able to process payroll in 8 hours from end to end, but the main payroll calc only takes about 33 minutes. So we're looking at cutting from 48 hours to 8 hours or less total to run payroll, and we control it, so that's very important. And the cost side, now we're on a subscription-based model with Workday, and the cost per check is significantly less. Another reason we decided to go with the financials was just the integration of all of the different sub-general ledger modules, such as accounts payable, accounts receivable, and one of the biggest ones for me is fixed assets. Our business is very, very capital intensive. These clubs cost $50 million to build, and in total we have about $3 billion gross assets on our books. Our current fixed asset system is not sufficient to handle that. It can calculate it, but we end up using manual interfaces between that system and our current general ledger. So the efficiencies we hope to get from an integrated fixed asset system to Workday's core financials will be a huge benefit. One of the biggest benefits for me as the controller is providing information to the people that run the business. We have a lot of general managers and department heads out in the field. They're not accountants, and I don't expect them to be accountants. So we're looking at trying to get a solution that has that single user interface for all their business needs. Lifetime Fitness is a growing company, and Workday is also able to scale their product to our growth. We're adding headcount constantly, so the HCM module works well with that. We're constantly, we spend about up to $500 million a year on capital on these new buildings. So the flexibility and scalability of the business assets module works well with that. Plus just the general core financials and having the ability to adapt that system to our growth needs is excellent. The thing I look forward to with our partnership with Workday is just the communication. It's been constant from day one. I knew customer service was a strong point of the executive team, but that customer service carries through to all the people on the engagement.